Speaker, Mr. Chairman.
I'm going to
Mr.
call
Chairman.
Dr. Megan Woods.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, and I'm very happy to take a call on the Social Security Commencement of Benefits Amendment Bill and further put some questions to the Minister and the Chair, because we've been putting these questions but still don't have any answers. And Mr. Chairman, in the course of my contribution on this bill, I want to share some of the questions that I've been asked by my constituents in Wigram and share some of the stories from there. I'd like to echo the questions that my colleague, that Sue Williams-Seal just asked around what are the numbers that we're talking about here? How many people, we're told by the Minister that was previously in the Chair that we've so far had 8,500 claims made since this has gone public, but how much are they? Where do they, what brackets do they fit into? What kind of quantum are we talking about here? That is a question that is really important to us here on the opposition benches for us to understand the impact of this legislation. The Minister's dismissing it and saying that it's only a day, but as my colleague quite rightly pointed out, that if it's only a day and such a small thing, what's the problem? Well, why aren't we looking to support Carmel Sepuloni's SOP that would allow for the natural justice to occur? We'll also have a very big question around why we're doing this in urgency. So the fact that this was found out in May 2014, it was a High Court ruling. Why is it that we're here in November 2015 pushing this through under urgency and, Mr. Chairman, in real danger of making the same kind of mistakes that got us into this place in the first place? My colleague Grant Robertson read very well from the Hansard of the debates of 1998 and that showed just how we got into this predicament. Sloppy lawmaking under urgency where we don't use all the tools at our disposal as legislators to examine legislation and ask the kinds of questions that we need to ask. And Mr. Chairman, given that we don't have that opportunity for the select committee process and we don't have that opportunity for people to come and make submissions, I'd like to share some of the feedback I've been getting from constituents in Wigram. And one of a group of constituents that I've had a lot of traffic into my office in Hoonhay has actually been from a group of teacher aides. Now, this is a group of workers that many of whom stand down each term. So when the Minister says this is one term, one day only, that's many days multiplied by the end of term. So to dismiss this as just being one term shows the Minister doesn't understand the problem. This is a group of workers, teacher aides, who are reasonably low paid, work incredibly hard, make an incredible difference in our schools. But these are largely women that, when they stand down, need to reapply for the benefit to support their families. And this is a group of mothers that often struggle, that have been denied this assistance with raising their children, because let's be clear, this is what they were entitled to. This isn't people here seeking something that wasn't theirs. This is about asking that people be paid what they were rightfully entitled to. And Mr. Chairman, something I have noted that a number of the people that have come into my office to talk about this, who are employed as teacher aides, are actually people that I had to help with Nova Pay issues. That these are a group of workers that have already had to deal with the Ministry of Education not being able to get their pay right in the Nova Pay debacle, and now they're having to deal with another government agency denying them what was rightfully theirs. I think this is a very unfairly treated group of workers, and I would like to know how many, from the Minister and the Chair, another question that we would like to see you get on your feet, Minister, and answer some of these questions that we're putting to you. This is being done under urgency, and there are real questions that the opposition is putting to the Minister, and we believe that they deserve to be answered. So for the Minister to just sit there and do his paperwork and not take a call and answer these questions really isn't giving the dignity to this legislation that it deserves. So, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to know how many of the 8,500 that have already made a claim under this are from this group that I've described, teacher aides. How many of these workers, how many days were these workers affected for? Because when the Minister says it's just one day, I know that many of the women that I have spoken to have had a stand down every term. term. And if you put that back, if they've been doing this since 1998, that's many terms, Mr Chairman. That's many days of entitlement that they have been denied. So I look forward to the Minister taking a call on that. I look forward to the Minister explaining to us why this is being done in urgency. I look forward to the Minister describing to us how many of the 8,500 fall into what brackets and what the actual liability on the Crown is. And I think all my colleagues, Mr Chairman.
The Honourable David Cunliffe.